There you go.
All right, we truly live right now. Can I get started, Chris?
Yes, you can.
All right, I'd like to call to order the Finance Committee meeting of Wednesday, July 5th, 2023. It's 1:03 p.m. and we're live on a digital platform. We have 4 items on today's agenda. Item number 1 is an ordinance transfer number 2 related to the band shell. John Sander?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. So what you have before you here is a transfer ordinance for design funding for the band shell. So obviously with the band shell, it's been designed by a firm called Gannett Fleming, a very large scale architectural firm. We had 2 design contracts with Gannett Fleming, one in preliminary design, one for preliminary design and one for final. For final design, we had an executed contract of $47,400. With that, I was able to ask the foundation to pull ahead $41,000, which leaves roughly $5,600 to be paid. If I take a step back for a second, in preliminary design, I was able to, myself and a previous finance gentleman, Joe Pollock, were able to find unspent line items in the budget to pay for preliminary design. And at the time it was discussed, we were going to do he was going to do a transfer ordinance for that. I'm not sure if that actually ever happened or not. So long story short, we owe Gannett $9,351. Speaking with our finance team here, it was decided to pay out of Act 13. So that's what you have before you here, a transfer ordinance for $9,351 to pay Gannett for design services.
Okay. All right. Eric, Randy, any questions?
I don't have any.
Neither do I.
And I just wanted to add one more thing to this. So the project's all designed, it's been bid. We have 2 bids on the table. In addition to those bids, obviously we're a couple $100,000, going back a couple weeks when we tabled this for the bids, we are $200,000 short on construction. However, Teresa from Delta is working with some senator individuals to put this on budget on a certain state budget, and we should know on that within the next week. So if that happens within the next week, then construction can happen on the band shell, just to let everyone know. So
Oh, great.
Yep.
Awesome. Hey, John, my only question would be, so we have reappropriated surplus in Act 13, and it says the initial is 324 and the revised is 333.
I saw that too. Yeah,
that?
I actually sent a shortened, truncated version of this to Tracy, and she sent me this adjusted one. So I'm not sure about the number. I also saw that as well, Liz. I thought that was kind of strange. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a screw up. It's no big thing, but can you try and get it fixed for Thursday?
Yeah. So
because the revised amount should be less, right? Because we're transferring it to somewhere else, so it should be more like 314,000 and something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it was. Like I said, I sent a slightly different one, more simplified. She sent one that had like this what you see before you. So she's not on the call, obviously. So
yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying for what we vote on Thursday is going to need to reflect the fact that we're reducing the reappropriated surplus amount in Act 13 by $9,000, not increasing it.
Yep. And in addition, this is an ordinance. Obviously, it gets 2 readings, so I'm sure by the time if it gets done, it'll be fixed. So.
Okay, awesome. So you said we will hear potentially about Teresa's efforts in a week or so. So we're going to let that item about the band shell remain on the table for another 2 weeks.
Correct.
That's the administration suggestion.
Yes, this administration suggestion to let it sit there. We should know by the 8th of July, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back through my items here, but I think within the next 3 days we should know, and then that can be under construction as well. So, yep.
Okay, awesome. That'd be great. Thanks, John. Okay, and so the total amount that we're paying Gannett then for design service, construction design, etc., is 50,000 approximately, right? You said 41 from the foundation plus this 9,351.
So the final design, the foundation gave us 41. I was able to pull ahead. The foundation had a nice chunk of change for construction. I was able to ask them to pull it ahead for design. They said yes to that, and they sent us a check for that. So, so that the difference is let me see here, $5,600. I think there's addition. So obviously what I'm asking for is $9,300. What I was getting at was trying to explain that I don't think some of the original transfer ordinances from preliminary design were taken all the way through.
Ah.
That's what I was kind of getting at here. I don't
Okay,
think-
okay. So you're
Yeah.
saying there was supposed to be a previous ordinance that never appeared to happen to transfer some of the funding. So, but the total amount then for design is about 50,000 with Gannett Fleming, right? If-
47 now plus on final plus another 30 so for preliminary, so more like 70 70 or so when it's all said and done, 80 maybe from between preliminary and final.
Got it. And so where do we get the remainder of the money?
We already paid it. It's already been paid.
Yeah, but out of where? Sorry, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
They
So
were
we had 41
unused.
from the,
Sure. You're asking about during preliminary design or current or just
I
in
guess what
general?
I'm asking is, so we took 41,000 from the foundation, right?
Yep.
We've got 9,000 here, so that's 50. So then we've got about another 25.
Yes, there were unused line item,
Got it.
unused streets and parks recreation budget line items that myself and future employee, or excuse me, past employee Joe
Former
Pollock
employee.
found. I'm not sure if they were ever formally put into transfer ordinance by the finance department. I'm not sure.
Got it. So that money has been given to Gannett Fleming, but we don't know for sure where it came from. But they
That
are
would be
paid, right?
that would be an accurate statement. Yes, 100%. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
All right. So this is the only remaining funding that we owe Gannett Fleming.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Excellent. Then I think that's everything I have. If Derek or Randy and Eric, if this hasn't jogged anything else loose, then we'll move on. Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, John, for
Thank you.
jumping on.
Thank you.
All right. I'm confused about what's going on here. Okay. All right. Then next up on the agenda, we have, oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm toggling back and forth and not doing it well. We have item number 2, a resolution authorizing an execution of an agreement between the city of Williamsport and Lycoming College. Mayor Slaughter, you're presenting this?
Yep, I'm here. Let me just turn my camera on. Yes, good afternoon, Councilwoman Healy, members of the Finance Committee. What you have before you is the lease agreement between the city of Williamsport and Lycoming College. For Brandon Field, this is for the senior field that we've been discussing and working on for a little while now. This would be to obviously upgrade the senior field to make it a collegiate level field with all the requirements that would be needed for Lycoming to use that field. The initial term would be, for this agreement, would be 25 years. And then renewal agreement for additional 2-year periods thereafter, unless the college or the city, either party gives written notice. I believe it's 24 months prior to the end of that initial term. And then, obviously general clauses throughout. But it would go hand in hand with, we're doing the 2 lower fields now. And then this one would be provided for Lycoming. It still would be open to public use. I know that's been a question we've been getting, and I believe City Council has been getting, similar to Elm Park. Lycoming would basically use it for their games, and then it's open, and they would just have this. You'd have to schedule and make sure everything's available. I think that's sort of the high level. Dr. Trachty will be on Thursday's meeting. I know he's in France at the moment, but he will be on Thursday evening's meeting. And I believe Chip will be there as well, I think. But I know Dr. Trachty for certain.
Excellent. Thanks, Derek. That would be probably good. Randy and Eric, what questions do you have?
I just have a couple, but Eric, if you want to go first.
I just want to make a general statement. Obviously, this is something we've been talking about for over a year now. Councilman Yoder, President Yoder, and I met with Chip Edmonds and Dr. Trachty about a week and a half ago and hammered out a lot of some of these finer details. So I'm good with how everything sits after talking about it, unless Randy or Liz, you bring up anything major that we may have missed.
Randy?
I don't have anything major. It's just, I just, it's more the communication process, since they're going to oversee not only their usage of it, but also any outside entities that want to use it. Is there a mechanism where we're at least going to be informed from them, have a schedule of usage so that we can be aware of things as well
Yes.
when it's used by another entity?
Yeah, the way I foresee it playing out, be very similar to how we do Bowman Field, where they still work through our recreation department or public works department. So we're aware of all the usage, who's using it when, the schedules and all of that.
Okay.
So I'd still, again, I'm talking to Chip and Dr. Trachty, they're fully on board to make sure that it's as easy and not a whole bunch of logistical loopholes to make it. Yeah, the city would still be informed. We'd be aware of all the uses and who's there. So, and we can, even make it, whatever that might look like as we move forward.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I figured there was. I just wondered how who on our side was going to be involved.
Scott and Sean, and
yeah,
just have a
good.
master schedule in place.
Yeah. And 11 under point 11 insurances and B, the blanks just aren't filled in there with the amount that they're going to carry. Do we happen to know what that's going to be, or?
I believe so. I can double check with Norm and Peppermint on their side to see what that is.
Okay. I guess it'll probably be filled in for Thursday.
I think it's it's either $1 million or $2 million. I forget what it is, but yeah, we can get that filled in for Thursday evening.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Randy.
Mhm.
And yeah, Derek, a lot of work has been done on this, and I think that it is in pretty good shape and exciting. I think we do need to be clear, and we should probably flesh this out on Thursday, that while the field will still be publicly available at no charge, it won't be publicly available in the sense that I think people are used to it currently being, where I've seen people just kind of
Right.
walk out there and play a pickup game of baseball by themselves, and that will no longer be the case. And I don't know to what extent, do we have any ball fields in the city that are available that way at this point? Do we have anything at Shaw Place where you can just kind of walk up and play?
Yeah, Shaw's baseball field's still open. I mean, like Cumming will be open, like you could still do a pickup. You just have to let them know, obviously. So it'd be a little bit different, but we've talked to the Legion folks, we've talked to Newman, so they're well aware. I mean, it's like Eric or Councilman Biter said, we've been at this for a while, so I think most folks are aware. It's not really going to change their usage. It's just going to let folks know. They'll still be able to, because the college season, I think, wraps up like the beginning of May anyway.
Mhm.
So really, by the time Legion and all that comes around, it'll be available, camps and all that, and then Newman to use it, they'll just coordinate with us and Cumming, so they don't double book it. But as far as just like Sandlot or pickup, Shaw's there. In theory, you could sort of use Newberry Park. It has an open grass area, not really a baseball field. Young's sort of has the old baseball field there. The fence is still up, but it's not really baseball. So there still are some places, but Shaw's probably the main one that And I know it's softball. I think Wall, Councilman Byer might know this more than me. I think Wall used it for some practices this year as well. So, but Shaw's still there.
Got it. Yeah, just because I think that is an important thing to have for people is someplace where, basically anybody can just walk out there and play. And I can understand if we're investing a bunch of money into, or someone or another entity is investing a bunch of money into a field, not wanting that as an option because of the, the damage it could do. But I hope that we continue to maintain those facilities, because it's kind of key to being a baseball city. You know what I mean? Like, you encourage your
Right,
kids to
yeah.
play baseball, but they can just walk out and play somewhere if they want to. But okay, yeah. Aside from that, the only other comment that I had discussed with Adam and Eric, I think when we were looking at this with Lycoming College, and that I'll mention here and on Thursday as well, is I don't think that this was an issue specifically with the college, but I've heard from a couple of people who live up near Brandon that people tend to drive across that north field right by the playground to access this ball field. Like I said, I don't think that's the college doing that, but I think we need to be clear that that is not a viable option for accessing, amenities that are internal to the park. You can't just drive up, right? Especially because I know I heard from at least one person that there was like a close encounter with a child at the playground by someone who was driving quite quickly across the park. I mean, probably not 25 miles an hour or anything, but, worrisomely fast to be driving across the grass.
Well, they should, and they should be driving there anyway. To your
Right. Yeah, no, but I think the issue that maybe we should be looking at as a community is that we don't have any kind of stanchions there to keep people off the grass. And I don't believe that we have anything, unless we fixed it and I failed to notice. We don't have anything where, the blacktop road that runs down past the wall fields, it's a walking path, but we have not historically had anything there to block people from driving. And I know that I've seen multiple people drive down there to access, it would seem like perhaps we should be looking at putting up something that will prevent access that way. Because otherwise it's just, I don't want anybody on the city staff to be responsible for going down there and policing it and smacking people's hands for having driven, in a non-pedestrian or in a non-vehicular area of the park. But it seems like we need to indicate to people somehow or another that that's not something they can do. And I'm sure the college is on board with that. I just want to make sure that everyone else who's using those areas is aware of that too.
Yeah, I can talk to Scott about, I'm sure we can put something up there to prevent folks from driving down.
Yeah, right. It seems like, because I guess once Wall has possession of the fields, once they've been fixed up, then I think we just don't want people to kind of get back into old habits and start parking right down there by the field on the grass. It makes maintenance harder for our park staff, and frankly, there's no reason for it. There's a parking lot about 50 yards from it. So, but anyway, but yeah, those are my only comments. The agreement looks solid. I'm excited to see the field get brought back into shape, and excited about the partnership with the college that I think will be advantageous for both them and us. All right, nothing else, Eric and Randy?
I don't.
All right. Then the final, not exactly action item on our agenda. Item number 3 on our agenda is a resolution for the purchase of Arvik Network Management Monitoring Solutions. Mr. Black.
Good afternoon, everyone. This resolution is for the purchase of network monitoring solution from a company called Arvik out of British Columbia, Canada. They will monitor all of the endpoints that we have on our network at roughly, it's less than $11 a day at our current usage. It's based on the number of switches we have as opposed to the number of endpoints that we have. I did come to you in January with a solution from Arctic Wolf that was approximately a little over $65,000. That the next day I found out that we were getting about 40 to 45% of what they were offering already with our Comcast Essentials that we pay on a monthly basis. So I did not move any further forward with the Arctic Wolf. This solution comes up to about another 45% of what we would need to be completely compliant with the insurance companies. And it's $3,900 for the year. So 65 grand as opposed to 4 grand. I think it's a good trade-off.
It certainly sounds like an improvement, Chris.
Yeah.
Randy and Eric, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I did go to their website to just familiarize myself with their product and how they handle it. It sounds like it's a great way to streamline what we have and organize what we have.
Yes.
From what I've read and other comments that people who use it had to say and how they used it. So I think it's going to work well for us.
Yeah, I can see everything on one screen, which makes life so much easier.
Right.
Nice. All right.
I have nothing to add.
Okay. Yeah, the one thing that I would put out there, Chris, is just, unless I missed it, which I may have, I know Eric had asked for kind of a summary of all of the contracts like this that we had out there, just so we had a sense of how much we were spending on an annual basis. If you had time to put it together yet, did I miss it?
No, I have not presented that yet. No,
Okay.
I'm working on it. It's
Okay.
fitting it in with everything else, keeping the fires at bay.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand. Just wanted to put it back out there again, as long as
Sure.
we were
I
discussing.
mean,
it.
I can report back to what I've got coming out of my budget. So,
I think that's a good start, because a number of them, I believe, are kind of under your budget, but we know that the finance software is
yeah,
not.
there's,
And,
the finance
and a
and
bunch of
the
the police
HR
stuff, a
payroll
bunch of the
stuff.
police stuff, I think. Is the
Bunch of the
police
stuff is not in
software
my
under you?
budget. Yeah, that is not in my budget. So,
Okay, got it. Okay, all right. I think that's all that I have. This certainly is a significant difference over the prior one, so we appreciate that.
yeah.
Okay. Guys, if I don't hear anything else from you, then we'll move on to item number 4. Which is any related items. Does anyone have anything to introduce? Any questions to raise?
I do not.
Okay.
No.
All right. The only thing that I would say is that I'm going to, now that we've made it in the beginning of July, I'm going to see if I can get some financial statements for the first half of the year from the finance department. And hopefully we will be able to review those perhaps at the next meeting, but we'll see how
Right.
that goes.
Good.
But that's everything. All right. I will see you guys on Thursday evening. And I think that brings our meeting to a close.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
I'll make a motion.
okay. I'll pass it.
She's
All
gone.
in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thumbs up will do.
Oh, that's great. See you, Randy.
Later.